Drive Hype Jeff from Two Hacks Garage. Well, it's a Monday night, and it's another wrench night, part 6 of GTO body panel alignment. So what are we doing tonight? Well, as you can see in our last video, when Eddie the expert was here, who is back tonight, we're going to try to get this nose cone all squared up, get everything squared with the fenders to get that hood shut. We were fighting that. But Eddie the expert, he's got some really badass cars himself. Look behind me. Look at that nice, pretty 1972 Chevelle SS. This is Eddie's baby. It is clean, it is beautiful, and guess what? You'll probably see a lot more of this car this summer. He's got a lot more cool stuff, probably see later on down the road. But I tell you what, guys, right now, let's get to work. It's Monday night. I'm missing some good lives. No Name Nationals. We're going to work on the big green machine and get some stuff buttoned up. Catch you in a few. All right, so what we got going on here is we found a spot where we feel that the hood's gonna line up pretty well. As you can see, there was a lot of back and forth, up and down. It's a good thing we do have Eddie here, knows what he's doing. So what he's doing right now is kind of making a final adjustment on the back springs. So a little bit of backstory on this. The springs are brand new. So it's not when we're doing this, it's like the old waffly springs where they're gonna do this back and forth, side to side. They are all brand new, rebuilt. So we know that's good. It's just there's so many little tweaks, so many little things that go on to getting these things straight. These cars weren't perfect from the factory. However, we do want to make the gaps nice and have everything line up. So we'll just sit here and play around with this and see how things go.
Wait, okay. Just a fudge a hair.
So now it's just going in, making some more small adjustments, and trying to get those gaps right.
Just a hair back that way.
So what they're trying to do is every time you make one movement, it will throw stuff off to the other side and in the back. So when you're really measuring these things, some things you want to do, if it's a ½ inch, you're really only moving a ¼ inch because it's going to move that other side a ¼ inch. So now it's just, right now it's just like little bits of slivers of movement having to make. But when you make any movement, so if it's like this in the back and it tapers forward, if you're going to do that and make it wider at the other side, it'll make the other side narrow. So it's just a little bit of back and forth, back and forth, back and forth until you get the rest or the right spot. These hinges have movement that go back, they go up. You can do this with them. The hood has a little bit of play this way. But what you kind of want to do is you measure across the bolts underneath the hood and you cross measure them. Make sure they're right this way from the firewall back all the way to the front. Across from one hood hinge bolt in the back where it connects to the fender to the front one. Kind of get that squared up so you know that whole area you're working with is actually square. So what we'll do now is we'll just watch, see what's going on, see if we get this. Be back in a minute. All right, so where we're at right now is we got the hood kind of exactly where we wanted on the gaps. As you guys saw, there's a lot of shimmying stuff around, moving it, shim it here, loosen here, up, down, waffle, every which way. So right now, what Kyle and Eddie are doing is they're installing the hood latch. And that's gonna allow us to get the hood down exactly where it needs to be to make sure the lines are lined up. We do know that on the passenger side, rear, we're gonna actually bring that fender up a little bit and probably cheat it in without messing with the rest of our body lines. This has been, a lot of work. As you can see, this is part 6. If we get to part 10, someone come save us. But at this time, I think we're actually good. It's just a lot of little minor details. Like I said before, what happens is if you move something a little bit one way, it's gonna move it a little bit the other way. So if you guys are ever doing anything with body panels, it really does pay to have a really good guy that knows what he's doing. Kyle and I have played around with a little bit of it, probably did more harm than good before. Eddie is the expert. He knows what he's doing. He's been doing this for a very long time. And to be honest with you, having that guy there has really taught us a lot on how this stuff goes together, especially after we had gotten the frame straightened and all that type of stuff. So the hack tip of the day, I'll include this in the video, is when you're doing body work and you're doing body panel alignment, make sure you have somebody there that knows what they're doing. Otherwise, a real hack job could happen and not a good hack job. Two different things there. Hack job and hack job. See what I'm saying? 2 hacks? Okay, maybe that just doesn't make sense. Or it wasn't funny over everyone's head. I don't care. Kind of tired, but we're going to get this. So right now these guys are putting the hood latch in. We're going to play around a little bit more with it, make sure everything lines up. So let's just see what these guys got going on and go from there. Thank you. Quick update. We got the hood at a really good spot right now. As you can see in the time-lapse video, hood was going up and down quite a bit. Those are making some final adjustments. However, we did run into a little bit of an issue that we also had in the past. We thought we were going to solve it with a new hood latch, which took care of a lot of the problem. But one thing we didn't really realize is when we put this on, there's a little bar that goes into the hood latch that when you pop it, it pops the hood. However, this car originally came with vacuum-operated headlights. Kyle, he took that off there and installed an electric motor kit that opens them up nice and evenly. They won't droop. They won't have any of that sag. Well, what happened was, when we did that, see if I can get in here and get a good look. If you see the bar right here, that originally went behind this bar. Now this bar, it goes through and it actually connects the headlights together. That's not actually a factory piece. What used to be in there was those vacuum bellows that opened them up. So when we added this bar in here, it was actually creating an obstruction with this piece here. So when that was behind there, it was creating a pinch point. So every time Kyle was trying to open the hood, it was wedging against that, not actually properly unlatching the hood. So a little bit of a hiccup. We found it. We got it fixed. Just had to do a little bit of minor bend on the factory piece. And you know what? It works good. So now what Eddie's doing is he's in the back there. He's going to tighten up a couple more things on there, and he's going to get it, a little bit more of the gaps where we want them. A lot of work, a lot of tedious, but you know what? It's going to pay off because Eddie the expert knows what he's doing, and this GTO is going to look nice. See you in a few. All right, we're at a stopping point for the night. We got the hood on. As you can see, it came off once more. Had to make some adjustments to some of these brackets. We're at a pretty good spot. Things are lining up pretty good. Don't have a whole lot left to do. It probably seems like we've been doing this forever, but if you go back to video 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, you'll see that we did have to do a lot of work to a car that had a bent frame, and then the body work was built around that. So it's literally just getting everything worked out and all the little minor bugs on this. Eddie the expert came out. We really got things pretty much squared up on here. Got a lot of little small things on this to do. So there is going to be a part 7 on the GTO body panel fitment and alignment. It's late. We're all tired. So we will see you tomorrow. Later.